This tutorial will introduce you to how to use Twitter for our New Mexico history class. I know that many of you have some experience with Twitter, but there are probably many more of you that don't. So that is what this tutorial is for. So where I'm at now, I'm on my MacBook, on my Google Chrome browser at twitter.com. So if you don't yet have an account, this is essentially what you'll see the first time that you go to twitter.com. What you need to do is click this button here that says sign up. And I am accidentally signed in, so I'll just show you real quick. Sorry about that, I thought I had already signed out. There we go. So here we are again. I'll just show you this first page. It's very straightforward and free sign-up process. I apologize for my sniffles this morning. So you just enter your name, your email address, and create a password. You can uncheck that box if you don't want Twitter to suggest certain people to follow or certain tweets to look at based on what you do on the internet. And then you click sign up and you go through a few other steps. Twitter usually wants you to follow a bunch of people. If you don't want to follow them, you don't have to. So just keep that in mind as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and log in because as you already saw once, I do have an account already. Excuse me. So right here, this is what you will see essentially when you log into Twitter from an internet browser on your computer. Right here in the middle, this is your Twitter feed. This is all the people that you follow. So if you don't follow anyone, or just a couple of people, you'll see a few things here. If you follow a lot of people, there will be a lot here. Up here, these are some of the important things that you'll need as you use Twitter. If you access Twitter, I also wanted to say, from from a mobile device like a smartphone or a tablet, all these features will still be there, but they might only be available via the icon. So for example, it'll have this little home symbol, but it won't say the word home. It'll have this little messages symbol, but it won't say the word messages. Also the tweet button, so this will always be somewhere present, however you're accessing Twitter, and this is how you post a tweet. Sometimes it'll just be this blue button though with the kind of quill symbol, and it won't say the word tweet. All right, so messages are important. Just from time to time, I will send you a direct message via Twitter if I have something pressing to ask you about, or you missed a due date, or things like that. You will get a notification via Twitter, and I also always send messages to your email as well, so I don't only send messages to you by Twitter. It's just, I figure I might get you quicker that way. Notifications, let me click on that. So notifications, this is where you'll see if anyone followed you. As you can see here. Also, you can see if people liked some of the things that you have tweeted. If you scroll down here a little bit, you'll see this is where you can see when people respond to you, or if they mention you in a tweet. So this is how I see that all of these people were having a conversation with me on Twitter. And then if I want to see the full conversation, so for example, Adam jumped into a conversation that I was having with Megan Nelson about a conference that is going on right now that I've not been able to attend. So she commented on a paper and I responded, she responded, and then Adam also jumped in on the tweet and gave his 2 cents. So again, that's just to show you can see the whole conversation that way. Click X to get rid of it. And these just alert you to when someone is liking what you posted or is responding to you. And that is important because remember, in units 2 through 6, you are required to post 15 tweets based on the reading. 10 of those are just your comments or questions on the reading, just kind of your own reactions to what you've been reading, what you've seen in the videos. The other 5 of the 15 are replies to classmates or to me. And people will be replying to you as well, most likely. So again, this notification section is how you see all of that going on. But if you've done your reading, you're ready to post your tweets. And again, you can kind of find your own way for doing that. If you want to just have Twitter open while you're also reading, and you just post comments as you go, that's fine. If you want to take notes as you read and then use those notes to post your tweets, that's also fine. So just whatever works best for you. When you want to see what's going on in the course, you need to use the search box. So again, it will either be, it'll either be up here if you're online on a computer, I should say. Goodness, I apologize. It'll either be up here if you're on an internet browser, or if you are using a mobile device. It might be placed somewhere slightly differently, and it might just be this little magnifying glass icon. But either way, go there and type in our course hashtag. So that is #NM, not 2660, but 2260. So always be sure that you've double checked what you're typing, and then hit enter or click the icon. Make sure that you don't put any spaces in there as well. Once more people start contributing to our class conversations, there will be a lot more here in the course hashtag feed. Make sure also that you click latest instead of top when you get here. If you're on a mobile device, I believe the options are either all or top. You don't want top. Top filters the tweets, and I don't exactly know how Twitter decides what is a top tweet. If you click latest, though, you'll see everything that has been tweeted with that hashtag in the order that it's been tweeted. So the newest post will appear first at the top. In order to read what other people have posted and perhaps respond to them, this is what you want to do. You'll come to the course hashtag search. To respond, you'll use this little arrow here that just said reply, just to show you what else is here for you. This icon is to retweet. So if you really liked what someone said and you also want to share it to others, you just click that retweet button. This is something I have because I use a service called Pocket. And then like, you'll always have the little heart. So if you like something someone tweeted, you can click that. It's a lot like Facebook in that regard. So I'm going to click here to reply. And so this is something that I posted to show you an example of what to do for the primary source activity. When you reply to someone, please keep their name, their Twitter handle in the tweet. Don't erase it, because if you do, they won't be, or they might not be at least, depending on what you're using, notified that you have replied to them. So again, we want people to know that you've replied so that you can have a conversation potentially. So make sure that you leave that there. Let's see. I'm just going to make a comment here. Done a lot of research on Via's raid into New Mexico. And then I'm going to type NM22660. Okay, so what I've done here is just showed you how to type a reply. So you type it could be a question. It could just be another comment, kind of like this one. And then make sure that you also use the course hashtag. Make sure to leave a space before the £, and if you keep typing after you put the course hashtag in there, make sure to leave a space afterwards, but no spaces within the hashtag. And you notice that as I was typing, the hashtag turned blue. So let me click tweet. If you're using Twitter, this feed does not update in real time, so it's going to take it a moment or several moments before the tweet appears here above. But you'll notice you can click on the course hashtag. So if you're following me or someone else in the class and you're not in the course hashtag feed, you're just in your regular home screen, you can click on that hashtag and it will bring you to this place. Notice it'll always bring you to top, so you want to click latest. And also notice that when I did that, it put the most recent one on top. In order to just post a tweet, like I mentioned, you click that little quill button. If you are in, so let me go back, if you're in this course hashtag search, it'll automatically put the course hashtag there for you. Something else you may have noticed is that it doesn't matter if you use capitals or lowercase in your hashtag. It all works the same. Let me go to home just so I can show you that when you are not in the course hashtag feed and you want to tweet to the course hashtag, you have to actually type it in, like I did before. So always remember, get in the habit of typing in the course hashtag. I'm going to share another primary source. So remember, for Unit 1, you only have to post 2 tweets. Sorry, let me go back over to this tab. I got distracted by that thing that popped up. For Unit 1, you don't have to post the regular 15 that you will have to do for Units 2 through 6. But instead, the purpose of the Twitter assignment in Unit 1 is just to get you registered and to get you some experience with using Twitter and how it should work for class. So what you're going to do there is post 2 tweets, one in which you share a link to a primary source, and another in which you share a link to a secondary source, both on New Mexico history. So I left that wide open so that you can choose any topic in New Mexico history that you find interesting. Just make sure that you find a primary source, a secondary source. I found another primary source here. This is a political cartoon at National Archives website from the era of New Mexico's statehood, when we finally were admitted. So what I'm going to do, now that I've found that source, I highlight the URL up here in the URL bar on my browser. I click Control-C or Command-C, I'm on a Mac, to copy it, and then I go over here and do Control or Command-V to paste it. So notice all that I have here right now is, of course, hashtag and the link to the primary source. I'm going to put my cursor at the beginning, and I'm just going to give a very brief description of what this is. So I'm actually going to type something to explain what I am showing here. So this is a primary source, political cartoon on, let's see, at the time of New Mexico's successful statehood attempt. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. And then I click tweet. And this actually appears at the very beginning of my own feed. So I'm going to do that trick of clicking on the course hashtag. This brings us again back over here. And you'll notice that it hasn't yet appeared in the course hashtag search. That's not a problem. You don't need to worry about that because sometimes it just takes a minute. It will appear there eventually, so just wait and be patient. Don't panic about that. Also, if your tweets don't appear even for several hours once you've first just created an account here in the course hashtag feed, don't panic about that either. Here's our tweet. I think that's a function of Twitter trying to avoid spam accounts, or trying to put down spam accounts. And so they're careful with brand new accounts. So until you've interacted with me or with others on Twitter, your tweets won't just automatically appear here. So what I suggest to do is to mention me in a tweet using @CNMBrandon, my Twitter handle, which is written down in several places in the Twitter instructions. Or just email me your Twitter handle so that I can find you on Twitter and make sure to give you credit for all your work. That's a good idea no matter what, just to make sure that I am able to find you on Twitter as we get going. So I apologize for some extra background noise this morning. I had to record this at Starbucks. And I also apologize that I'm a bit sniffly. So that's just the basics of using Twitter. And you can stop here. I do want to show you, if you're interested, you can keep watching for just another couple of moments. I want to show you all something else. Excuse me. that I've mentioned in some places in the learning modules, and that's this thing called TweetDeck. So this is separate from the regular Twitter function, or not function, but the regular Twitter client that you can go to just by clicking on twitter.com. If you type in tweetdeck.twitter.com and log in using your same credentials that you use for Twitter, you can just organize your work on Twitter in a different way. Also, as you noticed over here, this home feed, that's my general feed of all the people that I follow. It updates in real time. You don't have to do anything to update it. So I kind of like that feature about TweetDeck as well. What you can do with TweetDeck is you can organize all of these various columns for different hashtag searches, or you could follow a certain person and see everything that they're tweeting in an individual column, so that you don't have everything in a jumble like you do in your home column, and you don't constantly have to put things into the search box in order to find specific types of tweets. So I do this because all of my classes use Twitter in some way, shape, or form. So let me scoot this over a little bit. These are my various classes that are using Twitter right now. And so I can keep everything straight here. These also update in real time, so the searches that I put in here. Let me just show you how you do that. You use this bar here on the left-hand side, and you use this add column feature. So we click that. What we want, or what you probably will want, is a search, because again, that's for a hashtag search. So I'm going to type in the course hashtag, which you can see is already there, but I'll type it anyway. And then this brings up everything in that hashtag search, and you can click this button to add the column. I'm not going to do it because I've already added the column, which is right here. And so, again, this is just a way of keeping things organized differently. If I scooch over a little bit more, you'll see some of the other things that I follow. I also have a column for messages, for notifications. This is everything that I tweet as a user. So I think these three will just automatically be there once you first sign into TweetDeck, and then you can add everything else. But again, this is so you can see when people like your tweets or respond to you or follow you. This is so you can keep tabs on what you've posted. And then if you add the course hashtag feed, this is how you can keep tabs on what's going on in class. And you can do all of that just by scrolling side to side rather than having to use all the different search features. So hopefully that wasn't too long and rambling. Hopefully it's helpful. Let me answer any questions that you have. Whenever you have them, please don't hesitate to ask.